Welcome back to Pokémon Stadium. So yeah, we have one more tournament to complete, and that is the Prime Cup. And yes, by all means, Jova, make whatever Sonic Prime jokes you may want.
I just have to laugh more so at the fact that we have literal randos who have legendary Pokemon that lore-wise would be able to mop the floor with the Elite Four.
Mm-hmm, true. Well, again, the game is...
That's the spirit of the franchise anyway.
Yeah, like,
Okay. We're not the randos, so we're the protagonists. I'm talking about literal generic ones, and oh, hey, Wilson Fisk.
That's the spirit of the franchise, like you said, Joe, in a sense of anyone can become powerful enough to challenge.
I can see that Ken Sugimori is a Spider-Man fan.
Nice. You know what? That would not surprise me. I think some of the bug types do look a bit Spider-Man inspired.
Well, remember, Spider-Man does have that famous
the Sentai series from the 70s.
Yeah, that was very popular.
The daddy of the entire Sentai genre.
Did you know?
So I have a bit of a theory behind some of the nicknames that the AI gives. It's more so to advertise the different color changes you can get from Pokemon based off of how you name them.
Probably. And yes, we have now found the laziest names yet. They just changed the names to lowercase.
Although, to be fair, it does
just whispering the name, like Raticate.
To be fair, it does get them noticeably different colors. So
it does. The thing, it does.
It makes you wonder, does a Pokemon go, oh, that's my name now? Well, guess I better change my skin color.
Yeah, it is interesting. Like, imagine if they tried to introduce this concept in the anime. How would it even work? I mean,
I'm actually surprised that this concept never made it over to the games. Well, I mean,
I get the feeling the developers were making the game. And okay, here's my theory.
Why is Flareon shaking her booty at you?
Jova, it's not Flareon, it's Flareon.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of the attacks from Flareon come out of his ass, and we just always an attack for some reason. Someone, for some reason, thought it was a good idea to have Flareon's primary attack animation be one where he shakes his head at you. His ass at you, sorry.
Imagine somebody being turned on a Pokemon. I could never imagine that.
Jova, I'm sorry. Did you know actually that in studies says that when it comes to compatibility between humans and Pokemon, Vaporeon is the most compatible of all of them.
Tio, did you get those notes from Professor Harkness?
I don't know because I literally just plugged what's supposed to be a copy pasta.
Yeah. Indeed. Okay, so here's my...
I'm surprised you actually swapped out Mewtwo and just pummeled him into the ground with Rhydon.
Yeah, basically, here's my theory. My theory is that somebody in the development team thought it would be, wanted really to play with the way the Pokemon look, so they came up with this idea of the names changing the Pokemon colors, because that way we could showcase the Pokemon even better in 3D. Again, they got really infused, like the art department for this game got really supremely enthusiastic when working on it, because as we've talked about, the animations are pretty amazing for the time, and yeah, like they went all out. Like, even doing things. Go on.
I will say, Magmar looks a little smaller than I would expect him to be. Like, you look at something like the anime, and Magmar's like a towering power bout here and there, but here, he looks rather miniature.
Yep. And now, Rocket. Okay, so the names are Jin Act 1, Golem Act 2, Golb Act 3, Aerod Act 4, Peract 5, and Victract 6. Oh, look at that.
I see. He's doing username scores.
Yeah, and he's numbering the Pokemon. Look at that.
Again, like you do with a username often.
So basically, so those are you think of these names, since you're the name writer here. Oh, okay. Well, honestly, it kind of feels like a Sonic, like this is kind of like taken from a Sonic Colors stage, since remember, Sonic Colors is the only game in the Sonic series where zones can have a total of 6 acts. So...
I guess so.
Oh god, always with the fucking paralyzes.
Well, hey, they gotta fight back against a stronger opponent somehow, Pedro.
I guess.
All's fair in love and war.
No, it's not.
Speaking from experience.
Teo, I want to ask you something. Do you think love can bloom on the battlefield?
Depends. If it's a skitty and a waylord, apparently yes.
Yes! Pair those two together! God damn, whatever
don't ask me
nature
how this
says.
shipping works because I got no fucking clue, but apparently it does.
It's canon. They're compatible. I mean, you know, is it a sad thing or is it a mercy that we never got a Mega Whale Lord?
So we've got, so basically this guy's just replacing half the names with acts.
Yes, Jin Act 1, Gold Act 3, Vic Tract 6.
Oh, damn, she just slapped Zapdos.
Yep. That's one of Jinx's animations. Slap.
Well, there goes there goes the problematic Pokemon.
Again, every time Jinx dies, she looks like she got flippin' vaporized.
Does
except the hair.
Does Jinx need to slap a bitch? Anyway, Golem Act 2. Alright, let's, I guess, might as well try and see if Golem will kill me.
Cool, you're gonna pull an Ash.
Yes.
I don't.
What? Leave?
Unfortunately, Jova, this
Send the
game...
electric type against the ground type and hope for the best.
Unfortunately, Jova type matchups do indeed work, so I can't exactly do
We got all
what
those
Ash does.
classes for that, for those compatibility issues.
Yeah, clearly someone should have sent Takeshi Shudo to Earl's Pokemon Academy so he can learn how type matchups work.
Okay. To be fair, they did give a story reason because initially Pikachu was not able to make a dent in Onix, but thanks to Brock's power essentially enhancing Pikachu, using that thing, now Pikachu is essentially...
That's the thing. That's the thing, Jova. The logic behind ground types not being affected by electric is because, again, dirt doesn't conduct electricity. So it doesn't matter how powerful of a charge you use. If it doesn't conduct, it just doesn't conduct, period. So supercharging Pikachu should not have made any difference. You know?
To be fair, with Rhydon, they gave the logic that his horn acts as a lightning rod because it was kind of metallic.
They did, but that's just pull out of the writer's asses.
I think Pedro's point still stands because no matter how much of a rod that attract lightning can be, if it's still connected to the ground, it still discharges into it, and as such is unineffective. No, remind me again. Doesn't Ash in that fight technically exploits a having the sprinklers being floating?
They get Onyx all wet, which yeah.
Okay. To be fair, in that case, it makes more sense that Onix would be hurt by that.
Oh no, definitely.
I mean,
I have no problem with that. It's more so the fact that again, that was that problem in those early episodes where Ash was basically not really winning by merit. So
it's kind of like the early episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh, where Yugi always pulls the arrow card out of his ass.
It's as I said before, Pokemon sort of went for a similar structure as Yu-Gi-Oh did. The first seasons for each respective anime were definitely trying to decide, okay, do we want to be exactly like the games, or do we want to try and pull some flourish to excite people more? Since back at the time they thought that they might have needed to do that. Yu-Gi-Oh! For the most part, moved towards more proper rules. Sure, you have the occasional anime exclusive card here and there, and the life points start at 4,000 instead of 8,000. But for the most part, starting with the Duelist City tournament arc, they more or less reflect the rules of Yu-Gi-Oh! Properly throughout.
In the meantime, for this guy,
I'd say it was after. Okay. I think it was by midpoint in Kanto where they decided, okay, let's just stick to it. If not, it was definitely after Kanto that they pretty much decided, let's actually play by the rules. Maybe some creative means here and there, but nothing that people would cry foul on. Also, you just killed Naito.
Yeah, gotta love the names on this guy. Jolt, Nido, and now Champ. Just Champ.
Little Champ, yeah.
It's just how it's like the creativity fluctuates wildly.
Yes.
Alright, come back right on.
This guy isn't even a champ.
I never understood why the fighting type is strong against rock. Like,
Well, that's easy one, Pedro.
That's easy.
Training exercise involves, in anime and stuff, involves also smashing rocks.
I guess.
Keep in mind, Pedro, literally one of the most famous fighting moves is rock smash for a
the
reason.
karate chop, Pedro. The test your might also is present in Mortal Kombat.
I guess.
Pretty much, yeah. For the most part, Pokemon makes sense in why certain things beat things.
Oh, sure.
Although I really do think that they made Fairy a dragon type's weakness just for the sake of irony.
Well, the balancing job more than
No,
anything.
yeah, more than that. Like, to me, the one that really doesn't really make any sense to me is the whole ground being super effective against poison. That doesn't. What's the connection?
Poison, I think we mentioned in one of the early parts.
Yeah,
Pedro, I think it's the fact that poison is mostly like muck or something like that, and you cover it with dirt or something.
Yeah, I guess.
Like,
The
It's
ground
uses
can pretty much
power.
absorb it, essentially.
No, again, the more bizarre one to me would probably be sacking against poison, because
By the way,
only specific more than
here's another move. Here's another Pokemon move that's kind of interesting. It's called Double Kick, but it can hit to a maximum of 5 times.
Actually, no. Okay,
Isn't it?
I don't know. No, it double
No,
kick
I-
only hits twice.
Oh, it's always twice?
I forgot. There is a similar move that can hit until 5 times, but I forgot what it's called.
Okay, never
As far
mind
as I
then.
can recall, Double Kick's only gone up to 2 times.
Okay.
Alright, who's next?
Okay.
For the
you're right.
rainbow badge.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. Now we're gonna face Gambler.
Gambler. I met up with a gambler. We
Okay,
were
so
both too
Urosta,
nice.
Braslau, Triodug, Ois Blast, Bokar, and Night Drago. So he just swapped the 2 halves of the name.
Sure.
Again,
Eh,
wow, such creativity.
Well, okay,
so
Dwebs.
basically,
Okay, Dwebs. In that case, let's time for some suggestions, Dwebs. Okay, so what if you had a Dragonite? What would you name it?
Okay, that would require a lot of thinking. Names take time to think up of.
Mm-hmm.
not always.
As opposed to these guys who are just like, what name shall I give it? Oh, I know, I'll just swap it round.
I'd name it Dwayne.
I'd call it.
Why?
I just call it Drago.
I don't know, like, I mean, that Dragonite looks like a Dwayne.
And here's Bokar.
Okay, I'll admit, Bokar does sound like an interesting name.
Okay, so fortunately, since my Mewtwo has both Fighting and Psychic, this should be relatively easy. There you go.
Duly noted, Ted.
Yes. Again, again, gotta give credit to Ted. He went just like the animators. He went all out. I'm getting paid. Time to boast. And there you go. Yeah. If you have if you have a reasonably powerful Mewtwo, this particular guy is very easy, as you can see.
So go on.
No, go on.
I was just gonna say, how do you guys think the Pokemon anime that with Ash is going to end?
By the time this gets published, it probably has already ended.
Yeah, well, hey, we can laugh at ourselves if we get the prediction wrong.
I'll pass.
Same.
Honestly, I'm not really sure in that regard. Okay, best case scenario, it gives us a proper send-off and goodbye. I could see it literally leading into the next anime, given how pretty much most people are agreeing that the next protagonist is looking to be Ash's daughter.
Alright, go Mewtwo. Oh, Starmans. There you go. What do you think of this one? Starmans.
Oh.
Well, I mean, it's a bit more creative than normal.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, this cool female, her strategy is just to add the word "ants" at the end of we'll see.
What's that even mean?
Starman's
Starmans, Victrans, something. I don't know.
So,
Star Romance?
I guess.
Star... the Star Racer or something.
And take.
What will
Next.
the next Pokemon be?
What's the next Pokemon? Almost Dance.
Oh, it's Omastar.
Oh, he looks fossil.
Uh-huh. Alright,
How
Thunderbolt.
you doing, Queen?
There it goes.
It's a shame HAL Lab... is HAL Laboratory still a thing?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes.
alright, they're still working on the Kirby franchise, you're right.
Neither one.
It's a shame how maybe one thing we could maybe do potentially for Gen 10 is since clearly Game Freak needs some help, maybe we could have HAL Laboratory help out with the development of Gen 10. I mean, maybe they could bring out some really cool animations akin to these. I would be down with that. Kind of like how Monolith Soft helps with the recent Zelda games, because right now they're helping with Tears of the Kingdom.
That could be interesting.
We might as well.
Also, no duh, the battles become one-sided, Ted.
Well, there's only so many things they can have Ted record, so eventually
I
we're
will
going
give him
to.
credit. For the most part, he recorded enough lines to pretty much cover any
Yeah.
pretty much most, if not all, specific stances.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like for one, they had him record the name of all 151 Pokemon. That's definitely something that's
Again,
commendable.
putting all of that on an N64 cartridge without the expansion pack.
Thank you, Fact.
Anyway, you have defeated Cool Girl, so
Bird.
now you're on to Bird
Stay
Boy.
cool, bird boy.
Good boy.
There you go. Articash, Moltrash, Zapdash, Charizash, Pidgeotash, and Fearash. There you go. Was that?
More like it belongs in the trash.
Ha ha ha!
One's called
got him.
one's called Malt Trash. So yeah. This guy, okay, he really hates Malt Trash, and the rest of it's I don't know, he really likes Ash.
Okay, so this guy has free legendaries in his pocket, and he doesn't start with any of those free legendaries.
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
Down.
Yeah, it's they always pick the Pokemon at random, except for certain aspects. Like the final trainer of this cup always chooses one specific Pokemon every time. You can tell they programmed that specifically, and you'll see why.
Oh, it's Charizard.
Here's Charizard
The remaining
or
He doesn't have any of
Charizash.
those legendaries.
Well, let's
my
see.
dude.
Well, let's see.
up in the air.
You'd think he would, considering Articuno would be a. I mean, I brought out Zapdos immediately because they're all flying types, so Zapdos would be just the perfect guy to
There's a different
start the battle with. Let's see what he uses now.
Pokemon.
And no, he did not.
Oh my god! You sent out Pidgeot instead of one of the free legendary birds. You deserve to lose, sir.
Yeah.
Has become
Maybe the legendaries were on their union break.
Union Brain.
What? Did they also go out with the Reggies on those?
Yes.
Or even better, since we're talking about Hollywood men from Two Stupid Dogs, like, hey, in that cute bird boy. But it's wrong!
So I guess those, Wait, hold on. What show is that clip from?
Two Stupid Dogs from Cartoon Network. It's a show from the 90s. I'm guessing you've heard of the whole "it ain't cute, ain't that cute, but it's wrong" because a lot of people like to.
Definitely.
Yeah. It's that character's catchphrase in the show. Two Stupid Dogs is one of the more underappreciated cartoons of the 90s. It's really funny. I definitely recommend it for those who haven't seen it. Oh, Toadette.
Toadette.
There you go. Toadette. What do you think of this one, does? Toadette.
Again, it's just switching the words around and adding a dash.
Alright, Thunderbolt.
Uh-oh.
That's okay, Joha. This was all part of my plan. And now I'm gonna
Of
switch.
course it was.
And I'm gonna switch to my Rhydon.
You set him up.
Exactly. Like that's the basic strategy when you're playing this game and your opponent throws a Ditto. It's this is the usual strategy I use because yeah, this never fails.
Oh, the attack missed.
There you go. All right, now a simple rock slide which should be enough. But do I use Hyper Beam or not? Like, I actually think maybe I. Oh, okay, we'll see.
What's that?
Oh no.
The attack wasn't effective.
Oh yeah, rock slide. Okay,
Roll with rock slide.
and there we go.
Smack the weak spot. Oh, is it down and out?
Very good.
What will the
Yes.
next Pokemon be?
Yes, Ted. Yes, he is. Or it is rather. Pidashra.
It sounds like a Power Rangers villain name.
There you go, Dwebs. The strategy is put an hyphen next to it and put the first two letters at the end. There you go.
Pidash. Rah. It sounds like someone's pissing on Ash while shouting, Rah!
Keep going, dude. Your fire spin has to run out at some point.
Attack is still continuing.
Oh, you're just going to have him waste his PP.
Minor hit.
I mean, the fire spin, as you can see, barely hurts me, so I might as well stick it out.
I'm wondering why you just don't put him out of his misery.
Going on.
Well, remember, like the idea with fire spin is that it keeps me trapped, and that's why I can't
Oh,
move.
right, yeah.
The
I
heated
forget
battle
if, you
rages
know,
on.
the automatic times it goes, it counts
It's
those
it's
PP
between
sounds
two.
as well.
It's between 2 and 5 times.
What?
Okay, so oh, the attack missed. Fortunately, one thing you can do is, if your Pokemon is stuck in one of those kinds of moves, like Fire Spin, you can switch out the Pokemon, and the switch will not waste you a turn if you do it. So you can. So if you're in the. So if you're playing this, that changing Pokemon is an option to maybe potentially get out of it. Ooh, I like
Sam
Kazam.
Allah.
Kazamala. Sounds like a some kind of thing related to Shaq's Kazam, like
It's Kazam from Alabama.
what the so Joe, maybe you can help me. What the hell does Let's Green Eggs and Ham it mean?
There it goes.
It's a reference to the Dr. Seuss book.
Of course.
Yes.
Is that an actual line in the book?
It is a title page.
Well, no,
No, I know about the book itself, but I'm pretty sure that's not the actual full title. Let's Green Eggs and Ham it. Let's, like,
I guess it's the same as in
a
Spider-Man
play
No
on
Way Home,
words.
Let's Scooby-Doo this shit.
I guess.
pretty much, yeah.
I guess.
Mind you, I still don't know what that was supposed to mean, but hey, I guess it was meant to sound cool.
Speaking of cool, here's Cool Mail, and he has a Mew. There you go, so he's the toughest opponent in the stadium, so obviously they give him a supremely legendary character.
He moved the tractor.
So since he has a Mew, I
Well,
wonder, would
sto-
that make him the toughest opponent in the game?
Snore Store.
That's the thing, Joe, that, despite, being incredibly rare, Mew doesn't really have particularly brilliant stats.
Nope.
Mew can be good if you know
I mean,
what
it's
you're
fine,
doing with
but
him.
not as
yeah.
Mewtwo, for example.
No. Well, remember too, contextually Mewtwo is supposed to be Mew, but with his stats raised supremely high.
It's literally the I'm Mew but stronger meme.
It's more resistant to physical.
Well, that's okay, I don't have any physical attacks on me anyway, so...
In this battle,
Oops.
I mean, Mewtwo's physical attack is not exactly great, so...
a savage hit,
There you go.
and it's down.
And there goes Snore Store.
What will the
Interesting
next
name.
So, are you gonna send it now, dude? Yes. Okay, so let me try my
Time
best.
for the climatic showdown.
I'm gonna try my best. I may have been culled from your DNA, but now I'm going to prove that I am better than the original, superior to Mew. This world is too small for the both of us. Oh, fucking Thunder Wave.
Thunder Wave?
Fuck off, Mew.
Well, I guess Mew pretty
Going
much
to
said,
be a-
okay.
Speaking of
What's next?
Mewtwo Strikes Back, like
Oh,
Mew.
snap.
Yeah. Really? This is your strategy? Use Psychic against me? That's your strategy.
Yes.
Okay.
Dare use my own spells against me, Mew?
I think you got that reversed, Jova. But speaking of
literally, that's how it goes. But go on.
speaking of Mewtwo Strikes Back, me and Dwebs actually watched the remake recently, and yeah, it's very much the Pokemon Company's equivalent of a Disney live-action remake. It's such a pointless remake that does nothing to improve upon the original. In fact, it's actually worse because they had an opportunity to finally re-implement the scientist's backstory with the daughter that properly explains why Mewtwo revolts at the beginning, but they didn't. So honestly, that remake is just a waste of your time. If you like
That being probably worse animation than the original.
Yeah, I will argue the animation itself is fine. It's more so that, again, the character models are not on the level of a Pixar movie, so yeah, it does look more on the cheap.
So yeah, basically the only thing I could come up with really, and maybe you could put this on the film's poster or advertising, is that if you want to watch Pokemon the first movie again, but you much prefer Dan Green as Mewtwo and Sarah Natacheni as Ash, this is your movie.
Don't get me wrong, I love Don Green as much as the next guy, and to his credit, like his performance as Mewtwo in the remake is actually his best yet. However,
I still need to give that movie a watch so I can see. I was not able to get a general consensus of that movie when it came out.
Jova, you don't need a consensus. Here's the laydown. You've seen the Pokemon the first movie, right? Then you've seen Pokemon. What is it called? Evolution, right? It's called Evolution, right?
Mewtwo Strikes Back.
Yeah, you've seen Mewtwo Strikes Back, Jova. Therefore, you have seen Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution. It's literally the same goddamn movie, copy pasted.
The only difference is
Brock and Misty aren't there.
No, they're all there. They're all there.
They are.
What I was gonna say was the only difference, really, most of it is in the dub, because unlike the first time, the dub plays it more straight to the Japanese version, and I would argue to a fault, because yes, you don't hear the Minnesota jokes, but you trade that in for a script that's kind of a bit. It's like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Uncut dub.
Yeah.
It's the dialogue that's the issue.
Again,
That includes also Mew's very awkward.
no, that's it. Yeah, that's it's interesting you asked that, Teo, because I was hoping as that moment was coming up, Teo, I was like, okay, at the very least we'll finally get to see Meowth's translate in English, Mew's telling Mewtwo to fuck off because you're a clone and you're trash. But no, instead they reverted to 4Kids' original changes of that dialogue. Cowards! Fucking cowards, I say.
Okay. Was it also like that in the original Japanese version of the remake, or could that have been something that they changed us in the Japanese
That I do not know.
and that's why it's like
That I do not know.
Also, speaking of the dialogue, it tried to go for.
Hold on, Dips. And now we get. Awesome! You won a Dodrio Game Boy.
Yeah. Well done. You get
The Game Boy in the Gibi Tower went hyper, and that means you can now play a triple. Oh wait, what the hell?
oh snap! What the heck?
Speaking of
What's going on? It's nighttime and Mewtwo is a ghost?
Yeah, as you can see, it still shows a daytime there, but whenever you go, now it's nighttime. Okay, versus Mewtwo. The ultimate Pokemon Mewtwo lies in wait. Can your Pokemon defeat this fearsome Pokemon? Alright, now, listen to this original theme, because they gave Mewtwo his own theme.
Okay.
I have to give it to Hajime Wakai. Like,
So did they use this as the base for remixing it for subsequent releases, like the Gen 3, Fire Red and Leaf Green remake, or Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee?
Not that I'm aware of, Teo, because remember, this track is original to this game. It was composed by Hajime Wakai with no involvement from Mazuda. So as far as I'm aware, this track is exclusive to this game. As far as I'm aware, at least.
Oh well.
Anyway, I was going to say while this is going on. Basically, the dialogue had this weird hodgepodge. Like they had dialogue that I would argue was a bit too close to the Japanese original, but they also had famous 4Kids lines in there as well.
Yeah.
To try and appeal to their fans. Like they still have the end.
Yeah, that's
I am wondering if the reasoning for that was that, again, maybe the Japanese version of the remake also changed some stuff up. Like, it would not be the first time we've seen something where, it was considered that something was better in the dub to the point where even the original Japanese version kind of changed up to reflect that dub more so.
Sure.
And if that's a case where the remake changed it, well then, I guess it would only make more sense if the dub changed it. I only bring this up because, from what it seemed with later Pokemon media, for the most part, the dub was staying more true to the original. Oh, sure, still some changes here and there, but much more faithful than, the older stuff had been, so...
Sure, it's,
Electric guitar, interesting.
Okay, where was I? Yeah, no, I get that. Also, I also like this theme as well that's playing right now. Again, Hajime Wakai, remember, if you don't remember, Hajime Wakai is right now the primary music man of the Zelda series. He's been with the series since Ocarina of Time. Yeah, again, I would love to hear Hajime Wakai make music for Pokemon again, because I really like, not only Ari's remix is great, his original stuff is really good. So yeah.
Considering how the Gen 9 opened, well, already in Gen 8 if I recall correctly, but Gen 9 also opened up as guest composer, particularly Toby Fox. I wouldn't be too surprised if we might get potentially him involved again at some point.
I would not be surprised. That said,
and
I love how
just to let you know, Toby Fox is not like doing a throwaway jingle or something in Gen 9. He's kind of about it. These songs are very important.
Oh yeah.
I will say this. I do find it interesting how they went to the dealio of literally giving Mewtwo his own section in the game.
Yeah.
This feels almost like the precursor to the whole unlocking Sephiroth early.
Yeah, that's the idea. That's the basic idea, Jova. Mewtwo is the final boss of this game. So basically, if you complete the Gym Leader Castle entirely, as well as all the tournaments in Stadium, you unlock Mewtwo, and if you defeat Mewtwo, you get to see the credits. And yeah, it's the again, unless you have a really good team like I do, yeah, especially if you're trying to play this game on the Switch right now without the ability to connect to your Game Boy games, yeah, prepare for a fight of your life, because fighting Mewtwo, I actually do know how to defeat this Mewtwo with rentals, because I've actually experimented with that back in my day. Usually what I do is I take full advantage of Electrode's explosion to damage him greatly.
Suicide bombing your way for victory.
Basically, yeah. That being said, yeah, Mewtwo is the most powerful Pokemon in the game, so fitting final boss.
Hooray!
And yes, it's just Mewtwo himself, but you can bring a maximum of 6 Pokemon, so yeah, I guess we will see. And now time for credits. Go on, Debs, finish your point.
That's a testament to just how tough he is.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but yeah, because there's another point. If you really wanted a more pure dub of the first movie, but have to make do with the CGI, no pop songs.
Oh, thank God!
Not just that. Where was I? Oh yeah.
Honestly, there being pop songs or not necessarily a deal breaker or necessarily a winner for me.
One thing that I will at the very least...
songs are nice here and there, but that doesn't necessarily speculate whether or not it's good or bad.
One thing I'll give the remake credit is that it did away with the stupid violence is wrong spiel.
So what does Mew say then if it's not one or the other?
No, he does. No, he does. He says the same thing he does in the 4Kids original too. He says the whole, the true power of a Pokemon comes from the heart. He does that shit again. That's the thing. That's why I was saying to cowards, fucking cowards.
No, you're saying the anti-violence message is there, then.
No.
No.
That has nothing to do.
It doesn't.
Well,
Mewtwo. Power coming from the heart does not necessarily mean we can solve stuff with violence. Look, power coming from the heart is literally how Sonic beats chaos. In a violent manner, yes, but in a manner meant to actually help the monster here and there. But, violence still had to be used.
But yeah,
No. The problem with the original first movie was when they went about how, all Pokemon fighting is a bad thing.
Not like this!
Kind of regularly have that happen.
Yeah, it's the whole not like this thing, not so much what Mew says.
Yeah, but I thought the Mew speech was still connected to that.
No, it's not.
No.
That actually is before, that's like 10 minutes before the spiel starts. But
No, if the Mew thing really was tied to that, Mew wouldn't have had the originals fight the clones anyway if he was saying that fighting was wrong.
yeah,
Definitely to see the movie again because I thought that was instead what ended the fight.
no.
Oh no! If anything, it was Ash that inadvertently ends the fight when he got in the middle of
It's
Mewtwo
Ash's.
and Mew's blast.
It's Ash's sacrifice that ends the fight, not Mew. Mew.
Whatever. Go on.
Yeah, and in true Nintendo 64 first-party game tradition, the credits show off all the various environments. Because remember, Mario 64 did this, Ocarina of Time did this. It was this thing that Nintendo had in the N64 era, where the credits rolls just showed off the various environments.
Well, I mean,
Maybe the true Pokemon Stadium was the Pokemon we captured along the way.
I mean, Spyro on PS1 did this as well.
Sure.
They were
Actually-
moving instead.
Actually, that does make me wonder how is there a catching mechanic in this game?
No. Remember, the idea is for you to take the Pokemon you catch in the Game Boy games into here, not so much.
They will have that.
Wait till we get to Coliseum, Jova.
Yeah.
Wait till we get to.
XP.
It's in Coliseum where we have
It
them.
must suck. I was about to
Also,
say, it must suck
that is a
if you
pretty
didn't have
kick-ass new
good-
title screen. That's pretty.
Yes. it is. I will say it must have sucked if you didn't have, the original Game Boy game to transfer some of your powerful mons onto this. Then.
So when you defeat Mewtwo, you unlock R2. It stands for Round 2. What is Round 2? It's hard mode. Now you have even harder versions of Gym Leader Castle and Stadium. Don't worry, we're not going to do them because it's redundant.
So that's
But
pretty much just the
that
same
being
Pokemon,
said,
just higher
that
stats.
being said, Jova, if you want to teach Surf to your Pikachu, you have to come into R2 Stadium because in order to get Surf for your Pikachu, you have to complete Prime Cup Master Ball R2 using Pikachu in every single one of the matches.
Imagine doing all that just to teach your Pikachu, sir.
In fact, the hardest thing in Pokemon Stadium, Stadium 1 is defeating not Prime Cup Master Ball R2, Poke Cup, because with Prime Cup you can bring in your Mewtwo, so that gives you a good advantage. But in Poke Cup you can't, so you really have to come up with yourself a really strong team if you want to beat Poke Cup Master Ball R2. For example, there's a particular Starmie in the final opponent that's particularly strong, because remember, this is where the game, for those who don't know, because we're not going to do it, so I want to at the very least explain how it is. This is where the game officially takes the training wheels off, because R2 is generally very challenging. If you want to defeat the game and get Pikachu with your Surf, you have to really go back to those Game Boy games and get some awesome EV training to get some super strong Pokemon. Otherwise, you're not going to beat this thing. It is possible still, because people have made guides on how to beat the entire game with rentals. But yeah, it's going to be tough, even tougher if you try that. So that's about it. All right, everybody. So that was Pokémon Stadium 1. We'll give final thoughts on both games when we actually do complete both games, since I think it's much easier to do final thoughts on both games at the same time. So we'll just move on to Pokémon Stadium 2. See you then.
Yeah.
Yeah.